Welcome back to Maui Mallard and Cold Shadow. I hope you guys like mud because we're gonna get a whole lot of it in level 3. Welcome to Drake Mayhem, where the mud is sticky and the bugs are aplenty. This is the first level that introduces the Mudrakes, the island's inhabitants. They're mostly just simple folk who desire the return of their Shaboom Shaboom idol. However, despite Maui's good intentions to return the idol, they don't particularly like Maui. And in fact, they straight up are scared of him. The reason being is because that Maui is much larger than they are, and they sort of see him as a sort of a monster-like creature. Now, I don't have a definite source of lore that straight up tells you that they're afraid of him, but there are two things that sort of hint towards it. The first thing is the Nintendo Power article. There's a line in there that sort of hints towards it. And the second being the level's boss. And we'll find out more about that when we get there. So the Mudrake's weaponry ranges from your average spear, a boomerang, a blowgun, and a chainsaw yo-yo, which is the strangest out of the bunch. The only other enemy in the level is the mosquito. They show up at random, mostly in groups of 1 or 2, and they're very obnoxious. Whenever you try to attack them with your ninja staff, they'll usually try to fly just out of reach, which becomes a gigantic tease, and it infuriates me to no end. Alright, stage 2. Right off the bat we have a barrier in front of us. We can't jump over that, we'll have to find a way around it. So why don't we start by climbing these ropes. The level design in this level is quite interesting because it's very different from levels 1 and 2. The level geometry is mostly blobby, and it kind of reminds me of an Earthworm Jim level, where it's kind of hard to tell where you can and cannot stand, and how the level geometry will affect your height and how far you can jump and stuff. So right now we just need to head up this trough-like thing. Periodically there will be driplets of mud trickling down the trough, so watch out for that. And at the end of the trough is a cork, and if we shoot it, it causes more mud to pour out, which should create a platform that we can use to get over that obstacle earlier. And here we see the village shaman. I wonder what she has to tell us. But first let's shoot ourselves in the face. Well, it looks like we're now the size of an ant. So now when we walk into these huts, the doors are going to close on us, and we can't open them again until we take care of all the enemies in the room. That also includes mosquitoes, so if there's a mosquito buzzing around, you have to take care of them before the door will open. And as you will find out in the Mega Drive run of this, it becomes super obnoxious, especially when they're not on screen. I'm going to recommend that you use one of the alternate ammos. It doesn't matter which one you pick, because either one will work. The electric and fire ammo Only takes about 2 shots to eliminate a mud drake, so that's sort of helpful. And it's also easy to make shooting mosquitoes a lot easier. Once we're on the outside, all we have to do is make it through these, I assume there's some sort of larva tunnels or something like that. And off to the left is a short platforming section where you'll notice that the jumping as Tiny Maui is a lot tighter. There's a whole lot less float to his jump. I kind of like how tight the jumping is in this form. However, by now you're kind of used to the float, so it's a little disorientating. There's the shaman again. Why don't we give her a piece of our mind? Or she could just turn us back into regular Maui again. I guess that works too. Underneath the level exit is some yin-yang coins for a very short ninja section. Alright, stage 3. It's time for the boss, but first we have to climb up to him. So while we do that, we have to climb up these troughs, which will throw mud drakes at you whenever you pass by one of those mud drake flags. You might as well just tank the damage because it's really tough to avoid them. Not to mention at the very end there's going to be a full health pickup, so it'll be alright. Alright, so I hope you've been thinking about what the boss is, because if you said a gigantic mass with a couple of mud drakes inside, then you were right. There are 2 mud drakes inside the mask and 1 on top. Once you take down the mask, there will be 2 ground mud drakes and 1 that hangs out in the raptors. The one that hangs out in the raptors will throw spears at you, while the other 2 will just throw the regular weapons. They're sort of tougher than the regular enemies because it takes more than 1 shot to kill them. And another tactic for taking down the gigantic monster mask is to just wedge yourself up against it for a little bit, and it'll automatically fall down. It's a lot faster this way instead of shooting it. And you just have to do this for about 3 times and the boss is over. So I kind of think that's a little interesting that there's an alternate strategy that you can apply for a faster run, I suppose. Those little guys at the top are a little too excited to see their champion go down, but whatever. And that's the level. I hope you join me next time.